Hello folks, we are back, and let me tell you, this trip is going to be a big one. I am on the road for the next month, and we are about to explore as many parts as we can of the greater Appalachia region. Sad to say it, this is going to be my last long-term trip for a while, but we are going to make it count. I am right here along the beautiful shores. I still don't know what to call the bank. It's probably a bank of a river. I'm here on the bank of the Susquehanna River. A few months ago, we visited the capital city of the Keystone State, Harrisburg, and we saw this very same river just a bit upstream. Now, where are we to once again see the Susquehanna River in all of its glory? After all, this is quite a wide river at this point in the river's flow. Well, let me tell you a bit. Another place we also went to a few months ago was Lancaster, a little place with a lot of Amish culture. Well, it turns out that several miles southwest of it lies a quaint old town called Columbia, PA, with just as much rich history as the former few places I mentioned. And this is the start of our Appalachian adventure. Now, in the case that you didn't hear about the Harrisburg video or the Lancaster video, let me catch you all up to speed. We are in a small town in southern Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, just like any other state, has a wide variety of regions within the state. We are here in what's called Amish country, Pennsylvania Dutch country, which is in the southern part of the state. And what you'll find here in this general area are a lot of folk who subscribe to a more traditional form of life. Rejecting modern culture and society, the Amish or the Pennsylvania Dutch, or however you want to call them, live in relative isolation away from general American life and just go do their own sort of traditional living. It's very interesting to visit these people. For here in Columbia, we're not going to really focus on that. Even before the Amish arrived in this area, this place still had a bit of history, which I'll be explaining to you all as we get through the video. But let's have a fun time right here in Columbia, Pennsylvania. Now, before I even delve into the history of Columbia, something I've noticed, I just got here maybe 10-20 minutes ago, and already I have seen countless motorcycles and bikes all throughout my short 10-minute walk here. It's like this place is full of motorcycles. I don't know the reason why, but there's got to be some reason there's so many motorcycles here. I don't know if I should really be walking in between all these railroad tracks surrounding us, but whatever. It's a great place to really capture the moment here in Columbia and tell you about why these railroad tracks are important to this location. So originally, this little town was founded by English Quakers. This was before the Revolution happened, so this was in the colonial times when not all of Pennsylvania was really explored and established and developed yet. So this little town started to really flourish as new waves of people came to this area. And what they did was set up different modes of transportation. As we saw, the Susquehanna River was right over there. And so what was done was they set up a series of canals called the Pennsylvania Canal System, the most important of which connected the great city of Philadelphia to the Susquehanna River right here in Columbia. Well, I shouldn't say Columbia. Originally, this place was known as Wright's Ferry. This town flourished and grew and grew and grew. Because if you think about it, this main river, the Susquehanna, connected basically the entirety of eastern Pennsylvania within each other. And so, as technology improved and we started getting industrial, railroads like these were set up and established to make this place, Columbia, an amazing transportation hub within the state of Pennsylvania. After industrial stuff sort of declined, as it did everywhere else in the Northeast, this town sort of stayed as it was and remained a very small town. I really want to highlight the importance of this area. This place had great potential. Between the proximity to the major Susquehanna River in Pennsylvania and the railroads and its proximity to Philadelphia, could have gotten Columbia as a huge city in Pennsylvania, but I guess it wasn't really in the cards. In the Civil War, much of this town was razed and destroyed, and maybe that had something to do with it inhibiting the growth of this place. Let me get off this railroad. I don't even know if I should be in this area, if it's too dangerous right now to just take a walk in between these. At any moment, a train could come through, whack some debris at my body, and then I'd be dead. So I'm gonna get off this railroad and let's explore a lot of the historic downtown, which already through my little walk to this place, I've noticed it's quite a quaint little beautiful town. Let's check it out. Now, this is not really the downtown area, but I wanted to show you a little snippet of what the houses are like and the architecture is like here in Columbia. It is unlike I've seen in most little places. Notice how it's brick and olden architecture, but it's also very colorful. You see different colors like red, white, magenta, blue. I believe we are about to reach the historic downtown, and I am excited to show you all that is in store. You know, I am noticing that there are American flags almost on basically more than every block. I don't know how they space it out, but you can definitely tell this town is patriotic, putting all their American flags up for public display. One can definitely find that brick city charm here in Columbia, but if you search here and there, you can also find remnants of its colonial past. I think this is more of just the area that was developed in the more industrial age period of time here. It is kind of weird though, because if you don't count all the cars and motorcycles coming by, it's almost a bit of a ghost town. You'd think the historic downtown would be the epicenter of all the human activity going on in this area, but I don't see much of it. To be fair though, it is Labor Day. Maybe everybody's at home enjoying their day off of work. That would make a bit more sense, because all the businesses are closed and there's no shopping going on in these places. A good rule of thumb to follow: when the ground under you is made of bricks, chances are you are in the old part of town. So that guy who founded the town, right, this is where his family lived, or descendants. This is the Wright's Ferry mansion. Now, if it weren't for the loud cicada bugs up in the trees making such a ruckus, this would be such a peaceful environment to build a house or a mansion. But this is the oldest surviving building in all of Columbia. And it looks pretty old. It's probably restored a bit, but you can see the stone bricks instead of the clay bricks on all the other buildings. Now, Columbia almost was the national capital back in the days, right after America got its independence. It almost was the national seat of government. Only a few votes shy in the Congress, or whoever decides on that. It was not selected as one of those many capitals before Washington D.C. We did go to Lancaster nearby, and that was one of them. But sadly, Columbia, I'm sorry, you were not given that title. Wow, I've been walking blocks here in Columbia, and it just seems like the old antique architecture just never stops in this small town. You know, this might be a good place to get gas on my way back to the campground. But wait a minute, I've seen that name before. I thought they made something else. Turkey Hill is a company, a very local company, that started, I think, in this Lancaster County, which now specializes in iced tea and ice cream products. But the question is, why is there also a gas station with the name Turkey Hill? My best answer to you all would be there are two independent companies with the same name. So there's the Turkey Hill that makes the ice cream that you may have seen in your local grocery store, but then there's the gas station, which you might only see in a few states like Pennsylvania or Ohio. For some reason, they share the same name. This giant building, oh, I wish it was some historic factory, but this is a very recent thing called the Turkey Hill Experience, where you can go in and, I guess, sample all the flavors that they have of their iced tea and their milk and their ice cream. So yeah, ice cream and gasoline. What a delightful combination. So if you like ice cream and you don't mind spending 20 bucks or so, you can go inside here, right here in Columbia, Pennsylvania, and try some delicious ice cream. There's also a giant cow. So once your belly's full of Turkey Hill ice cream, you take a picture with the giant cow behind you. And then once you're ready to leave the parking lot, you get some Turkey Hill gas at the Turkey Hill gas station and head on your merry way. Old, historic river, brick, ice cream, motorcycle. Just several of many words you could use to describe Columbia, Pennsylvania, right here in south central Pennsylvania. I'm really glad we made it this first stop of our Appalachian adventure. And yes, I know we're not technically in Appalachia yet. We got a long way to go. This is a whole month-long endeavor. So needless to say, it's the beginning of September. I won't be returning home until the beginning of October, so there's plenty of time to explore a new region, really. We'll be getting the chance to visit quite a few new states. That'll be kept hidden, of course, for the fun of it, but there's plenty of adventures waiting for us in these next several weeks. So I hope you enjoyed this first video here in Columbia. It was definitely such a peaceful day, a walkable little town, and yeah, take a visit if you'd like, if you're near the area. If you've been to Lancaster, come to Columbia. It got way too sunny over there. I gotta move under the bridge, or at least close by, so the sun doesn't impede my ability to speak well. Anyway, yeah, Columbia, Pennsylvania is just such a wonderful place, and it's so hidden away, and that's, I think, where some of the beauty is. It's this unspoiled paradise of old buildings, not turned into some trendy upscale neighborhood, but just the same as it might have been years ago. So, as we progress through this grand old tour through Appalachia, we'll be getting deeper and deeper into mountain country. Who knows, we may get to see beautiful valleys of the Appalachian Mountains. We also might get to see some great peaks. Being only the first day of this trip, I don't really know what to expect. All I know of are the states we're going to be visiting, the locations we're going to be covering, and the possible attractions that may be open as we go along through this tour. So, I don't know what to expect. I've never been to some of this area in the country, so it'll be as much of an adventure to me as it might be to you all. With that being said, I think it's time to end this video under this bridge which goes across the Susquehanna River, and standing at the steps of this muddy riverbank. More travels to come. I will see you at the next location.